Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God. Back with you with the next video in my Line of God's Daily Diary series. As usual, before I discuss what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to go ahead and read you a chapter from the Bible. Today I will be continuing with Genesis chapter 23. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. And Sarah died in Kirjath Arba, the same as Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead, and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I might bury my dead out of sight. And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he communed with them, saying, If it be in your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me, and entreat for me to Ephron the son of Zohar, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which he hath, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for possession of a burying place amongst you. And Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth. And Ephron the Hittite answered Abraham in the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, Nay, my lord, hear me. The field give I thee, and the cave that is therein, I give it thee, in the presence of the sons of my people. Give I it thee, bury thy dead. And Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land. And he spake unto Ephron in the audience of the people of the land, saying, But if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, My lord, hearken unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver, which he hath named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, the field, and the cave which was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure, unto Abraham, for a possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah, before Mamre, the same as Hebron in the land of Canaan. And the field, and the cave that is therein, were made sure unto Abraham for a possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. I wanna talk a little bit about the story of the Bible, and it's basically what I want to convey is that the story of the Bible was not always a story of overwhelming numbers. When we look at Christianity today, the Christians have done such a good job, as Christ commanded, spreading the gospel to the far corners of the world, being fruitful and multiplying, loving one another, etc. They've done such a good job that as of today, Christianity is the most populous faith in the world. They have some 2.5 billion adherents, and they've done an absolute awesome job. This is what Christ, I imagine, would have envisioned, because less is not more. More is more. Of course, first is God. We must always remember that. First is serving God. Of course, ideally perfectly. If you don't reach perfection, at least serve Him, because then you're good. So first is to serve God. After that, one must seek to fulfill the teachings that Christ presents. And one of them certainly is that idea of bringing people to the flock and multiplying the flock. So why do I say that? I say that because it is a good thing. And what I say is that in that large number of believers, one must not lose sight of the story of the Bible, which is a story of seeking to make people feel special. Because these are special people. They are God's people. And that is what makes them special. Is that they suffered with Christ, as Paul writes. Paul speaks on how it's important to suffer with him. What does that mean? It means the idea that when the going is tough, the tough get going. The idea that instead of doing what is expedient, the believer makes the hard sacrifices and stands firm and holds the line in terms of not giving up on Christ. And when we look at this chapter here, we see Sarah, of course, being honored. And we also see the specifics of how Abraham negotiates with with Ephron regarding the land and the cave of Machpelah for the burial of Sarah and Abraham's future descendants as well. And I think that this chapter, when you look at it by itself, what has it added to the Bible? It's not to sound contrarian. It's added some specific details, right? And that's actually the point. The point is that it's not the same thing as Jesus saying, "I give you another commandment to love one another as I have loved you." I mean, that is specific, right? It's not as though it's like this is, I mean, this chapter doesn't give us a specific commandment. Sure, we learn about Abraham and his negotiation. It's more that what I thought when I read it was that like this chapter gives us detail. It lets the story breathe, and it gives us insight into how Abraham lived, in the sense that you get this verse here. He says, "And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner with you. Give me possession of a burying place with you, that I might bury my dead out of sight." So you get this idea that Abraham is asking for help. And, then you get the specifics of it. And then you get this beautiful verse here. And he spake, here, "And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, My Lord, hearken unto me, the land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is this betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead." So the idea that you get that loving, that brotherly love between Abraham and Ephron, and how awesome that is. These details add to the story in such a beautiful and meaningful way. Sure, like I said, I'm not trying to compare it with, Moses descending from the burning bush, or Jesus, Jesus's transfiguration or his baptism or something, right? Yeah, I'm not trying to compare it to, to John 3:16. It's rather the idea that there's no need, firstly, to compare. Of course, it's that the believer should feel special. That Sarah gets a chapter here, that she can be cherished, that her life was cherished, and that Abraham gets these interactions where it gives more insight into how he, how he participated in the world around him. And of course, this the cave, the cave there, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre, is of course quite famous in the Bible, because that is where Sarah is buried, and the I believe other descendants of Abraham will be buried there as well. So it's awesome, just to get those details, and the characters feel special. So that's what I wanted to convey to that church, is that just because instead of it being Abraham and Sarah and Isaac, and you don't really hear too many more names yet, it doesn't change the fact that each believer is special. So that's what I wanted to convey. So with that, I'll go ahead and end the Bible reading there for today, and transition over to what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Dive video. Since yesterday's Daily Dive video, I trained Jiu-Jitsu. I created 7 days worth of Daily Dive videos, and I uploaded and I will upload and schedule the week's worth of Daily Dive and workout videos. I'll create the videos. And with no further achievements since yesterday's Daily Dive video, I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.